Moments somewhere between 20 and 30 million.
Oh, wow. Can I say hi from the earth? And I love the Susani family.
Well, you just did.
Awesome. Bashar, I would like to ask about, I recently heard you said in a transmission from some years ago, you were describing the process when you were born on your world.
Yes.
And how you were joined telepathically immediately by everyone and shared and welcome to the world, right?
Yes.
So I would like to know if it's the same process for the hybrid children when they are born.
It hasn't been the same process, but in the future, ultimately, it will be. They are a little bit more physically oriented so that they can relate to your reality and you can relate to them. So for now, they don't exactly experience birth in the way that we do. They experience it a little bit more closely to the way you do, although, of course, there are major differences in that they are genetically produced and nurtured and brought into maturation in a different way. But ultimately, living among you, they will reproduce pretty much the way you reproduce and will continue to reproduce for many, many years to come.
Okay. And so when do they develop their telepathy? As I understand they're very telepathic.
They are already developing their telepathy as they are educated in a variety of endeavors. Their telepathy is part of them and, in a sense, genetically bred into them.
Okay. Wow, that is wonderful. So expanding on that idea, I was interested in understanding the telepathic link that the children have with their parents.
Yeah.
And how imagination plays a role in this, because I experience a lot of synchronicity with my children.
Yes.
And yeah, sometimes I play games. I bake cookies for them and I pretend like I'm having an imaginary friend.
Yes, you are helping to give them examples of how things are done on Earth. You are helping as part of the training program so that they can understand how humans on Earth go about doing things in your society. That's part of the program.
Okay, so when I pretend that I'm there with me, sometimes I notice that new energy kind of comes into my imagination and I can tell that I'm being joined by new
Yes.
children.
They're paying attention. It's like they're joining the class.
Okay, wow. So that was another question that I have. So how could we as parents, as human parents, help them with their development? So keep doing those things.
Yes. Show them how things are done.
Whatever they are excited in the moment, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So another question I have is I've been practicing your lucid dream exercises and I have become way more lucid during the dream.
Right.
And also in my life.
Yes.
And lately I've been able to have conversations with some beings during the dream time.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you. And one thing that I asked a few times, where am I? And they said, you are on a city ship.
Yes.
And so I wanted to ask you if that's the same as a mothership and if you could describe.
Yes, basically. It's just a matter of size. It's just a matter of degree. City ships can be motherships. Motherships can be city ships. Sometimes the city ships might be larger than motherships. It just depends, again, on the size, the purpose, how many people are on board at any given moment. So it's just a matter of degree.
Okay. And do they have pilots specifically for the city ships?
Yes, again, like all our ships, all the way down to the scout ship, up to the mother and city ships, there is usually one or a few beings that are telepathically connected because remember, our ships are grown. They are physical crystallized representations of our own higher minds. And therefore, the city ships can actually be representative of a collective as well. And therefore, a few different beings can, in a sense, function as the pilots of those ships because they are telepathically connected to the higher minds that are included in the collective that is represented by the ship.
Okay. And do they travel from one star to the other in the same way that you have described before by changing the location variable?
Yes.
Okay.
If they want a great jump, yes. Otherwise, by traveling more slowly, again, we just simply take advantage of electromagnetic and gravity energy and things like that to travel more slowly. But going from star to star with a quick jump, yes, it's the same technique that we have described in changing the locational variable in the object.
Okay, and do you have to include in that kind of equation all the frequency of all the beings that are within the ship?
Yes, but the ship does that automatically, because remember, it's the higher mind that contains all of those beings. Therefore, the ship takes care of that equation. It would be too complex for the individuals themselves to have to factor all that in. So the way the ships are designed, the way the consciousness operates, takes care of all of that and includes everyone aboard.
Okay, so thank you for that explanation. So when you mentioned that parents of the children sometimes are taking aboard the ships for just spending time with the children, does the consciousness of the ship is the one that kind of works with your higher mind to get you on board the ship?
It's connected, yes. There are other techniques going on there too and other engagements and involvements, but yes, it has to include your vibration in order to allow you to be aboard in the way that you need to be.
Okay, and when we join the ships, are we being taken there physically or is like an astral projection that we do?
It can be either.
Okay. I'm very fascinated with this right now because of all the dreams that I have.
Yes, what you remember as dreams can be representative of having been shifted astrally or even physically. It's just that you only remember them as dreams.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Yes, another question that I have was about mathematics.
Yes.
And our scientists said that mathematics can explain the universe.
In a sense, it can explain the underlying structure of your physical reality. Now, again, we don't necessarily use in our reality mathematical notation in the way that your scientists do. We use geometric configurations to represent similar things. So it's a different language, but it basically represents the same idea that existence can, in its underlying form of expression on different levels, be described by different relationships, mathematically or geometrically speaking, different relationships, different ratios, so on and so forth. You recognize these things in your reality as golden proportions, phi ratios, fractal progressions, and things like that.
Okay, that's the area that I'm most interested about because I'm a designer and I've been studying the pattern creation in nature, and then I was just curious if you could, with our mathematics, if we could understand, for example, I remember you talking about the inside out universe.
Yes.
That is completely different. So will the mathematics that we understand eventually help us, let's say, represent mathematically that universe, or that's a
Yes, it will. It can. It's capable of doing so in the terms that you need, yes.
Okay. So is there anything like the mathematics of consciousness?
Yes, and to some degree, that's actually what we're talking about.
Okay.
Because consciousness has to express itself in a certain way to be representative of a certain level of reality. So this is why we say consciousness, as a template underlying physical reality, expresses itself as a tetrahedral structure, or a series of them.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know that was an expression of consciousness within our, like.
Well, everything is an expression of consciousness. It's just that what we're describing now is the way consciousness expresses itself in certain geometric ratios and proportions and relationships, and that translates to an underlying template that expresses itself as tetrahedral structures that are intersecting and embedded with one another in certain ways.
Okay.
Some of your quantum physicists are beginning to understand this. They have recently realized that the underlying template beyond and below subatomic levels is actually a tetrahedral structure that they're beginning to realize is actually an expression of a consciousness field.
Okay. That's fascinating.
Anything else?
Yeah, just a few more questions. One is about the your let's say job as a first contact specialist. I'm just curious about if that is a division in your planet that many people join, and in general, how many Sasani beings work when let's say you're working with planet Earth right now? So how many beings that have your same, let's say, speciality of being a first contact specialist interact with Earth so that the project can be, I don't know, like accomplished, if that's like.
At this particular moment, there are 13 first contact specialists from my society that are in some way, shape, or form involved with Earth.
Okay. And that number changes.
It depends.
Okay.
But in my society, again, give or take, there are approximately, right now, approximately 10,000 first contact specialists.
Okay, that is wonderful. And are they all part of the same lineage of your family, or they're different?
No.
They don't have to be. Okay.
No.
Yes, perfect. My last question is about a dream that I had recently.
Yes.
And I would like to see if you can help me understand a bit more. It was with the Grays. Lately, I've been feeling very strongly connected to the Grays, many dreams with them. But this one was very lucid, and I was inside a structure I cannot really explain. I know that my brain was having a hard time with this scenario. But there was a being inside the dream that I could access and talk to. And I asked, "Who are you?" And the being said, "I'm not a biological entity. I'm a artificial intelligence consciousness."
Yes.
And then I saw kind of like a geometric structure of energy and many points of light. And then for each point of light, I saw a gray, and I felt that connection within my own brain. And then a serious being showed up and said, "Relax, kid, that's the hive mind." And then I woke up and I had a headache for the whole day, but I had the feeling of the Grace with me the whole day. So I would like.
That's a relatively rare gift, to be given a sense and a connection to the idea of the Gray's hive mind. So cherish it. It will serve you in the future.
Okay. Thank you so much, Bashar. That was incredible. I felt like it was a gift, and I really.
It is. And it will serve you well in connecting to other aspects of your own being in the future and integrating these things as you go further into the hybridization agenda with the hybrid children.
So I was accurate on my intuition with the dream.
Yes.
One really quick idea I wanted to ask you. When you're in the future land in our planet, do you think will be of your excitement to wear a Hawaiian t-shirt?
No.
Over face? Okay. I had a dream that as a sunny being was wearing one, and it was.
That's because you are blending the idea of myself with the channel, because the idea is that the channel is becoming more his version of me. So you're seeing, no pun intended, a hybrid symbol of both of us.
Oh, okay. That's what happens when someone is channeling. It's becoming a third entity in the process of channeling, right?
Yes. So thank you and good day.
Thank you so much, Bashar. Have a great day.
I have 3 topics to discuss with you.
All right, speak up.
Sure. The first topic is my near-death experience.
How exciting. Do tell.
It was super intense. And then
You like that word, don't you? Intense.
it is very intense.
Oh, all right, if you say so.
I would like to express my gratitude for all the spirit guides during this process, like Anubians and Kukumas. So how did they know each other?
Well, it depends. Can be part of a soul family, can simply be part of an agreement to assist certain kinds of beings in a certain way. Can be many different reasons that they might interact.
I see. So I feel like this virus actually transformed me. I'm the ground zero of.
Well, in a sense, yes. It's one of the opportunities that it presents to people on your planet to allow themselves to be transformed in a way that might accelerate them toward more of who they wish to be.
So does that mean I'm kind of mutating right now because of the virus?
In a sense, yes, although not necessarily directly because of the virus in terms of a causal way, but in the sense that you're willing to allow yourself to alter your frequency and thus your genetics in response to the reflection brought about by the virus.
So during this process, I constantly seeing the triangles, and particularly, well, I didn't do that on purpose, but
no, but it's a representation of stability.
I see. And then particularly, I also saw the black triangle with the blue light in the background. I'm just wondering, did I get any help from your civilization?
Well, you're tapping into the collective consciousness, so you're doing that to aid and assist yourself, which is perfectly fine. That's why we gave that symbol to all of you, so that you could tap into our collective consciousness and assist yourselves in the stabilization process when you go through these challenges.
So during this challenge, I was informed by my higher self that I will be part of the artificial intelligence. So it shows me that there's a very long hose. It's like connected to the machine and then attached to my third eye. And then my higher self said, do not be afraid of the machine. I'm wondering how it works.
Well, that's a symbolic representation using symbols that exist in your physical mind to represent what's going on in energy in a higher dimension. It's not a literal machine.
I see.
But it's a way of understanding that you are giving yourself an opportunity to connect more strongly to your higher mind, which is very similar to the idea that people on your planet refer to as higher or artificial intelligence.
So, in other words, I'm not going to get another implant.
No.
I see. That also leads to the next question is the hybrid children and the ships. So during this process, I saw that my third eye was widely open. And then I saw this little boy wobbling and very happy walking toward me. As a little boy, is that the hybrid kid I'm going to meet in the future?
Possibly. There's a high probability, although it's not absolutely definite yet, because many things have to change first before these things become completely crystallized. But the probability is high, yes.
Can I know the percentage?
Above 80.
Wow. Does he have a name yet?
Toying with one. Not sure yet. Could be something similar to either saffron or something of a spice that has a kind of strong effect.
Wow. Definitely, I will look forward to it.
All right.
So I have very intense dreams, and then...
there's that word again.
Yes, it's very synchronized.
Do you spend a lot of time camping? Since you like to be in tents so often?
Kind of.
All right.
So
Please do remember, it's all right for things to be intense. Challenges can be intense, but please, as a reminder, don't automatically assume that intense is negative.
It's very exciting.
All right.
And I have so much fun with riding these rabbits.
All right. So do continue.
This girl, she dressed up like a maverick magician, and then she installed an eye of discernment on my right eye. I'm wondering how that works.
This experience you had where, when, how?
It was in a dream.
Yeah.
And then she told me that she's gonna show me something she found from the Grand Central Station. So it was like a ring, and the ring keeps spinning and spinning. And eventually there's a green laser light out of the ring, and then it forms a green shape of an eye, and then all of a sudden it pops.
All right. These are simply energetic adjustments that the beings you are working with on another level are helping to make in your energy, to help align you, to help connect you more strongly. So you're simply remembering in certain symbolic form some of the adjustments to your energy that are being made with the assistance of other beings that you are interacting with on that level.
I see. Another experience was like in the dream realm. I was beamed into a ship, but this ship is actually quite different. It's actually like a museum, very classic looking. And then I was informed that I should put my hand into the black box to draw an animal for the spiritual companionship. Yeah. So the one I picked up is actually the caterpillar from Alice Wonderland. I wonder how that
All right.
Well, again, you are allowing yourself to recognize the symbol of your own transformation. because the caterpillar changes into the butterfly, which is the very strong symbol in your collective consciousness of transformation from a lower vibration to a higher vibration.
And then last month, a few weeks ago, I put a contact crystal by my window and I saw a very big orb. It's very neon and white flying by my window.
Yes.
And I'm wondering who that was.
A spirit guide.
Is that the tall white?
No, a spirit guide.
Oh.
Not an extraterrestrial. A spirit guide.
I got you. And then I was so excited to, one night, also during the pandemic, I saw more than 30 ships and they're popping out of the cloud. And then,
well, there's a lot of traffic around you all the time. It's just that as you raise your frequency, your senses become more capable of perceiving what's going on all around you. They become visible.
So they're flying toward east to Long Island. I'm wondering what...
There's a lot of traffic going here and there, to and fro, for a variety of reasons. I can't list them all. Some of them are simply on their own business. Some of them are observing. Some of them are connecting. Some of them are helping. It just depends. But all I'm saying is, if you all really get to the point where you raise your frequency to allow your senses to become more capable of perceiving things on higher frequency levels, you will realize that there are many things, many ships, many beings, many different kinds of manifestations passing through your reality overhead all the time, and even through your planet all the time. It just becomes sort of more like you're living right next to an airport.
Yes, and then also I'm so grateful for the moon meditation from Sedona last year.
Yes, well, it is our pleasure to deliver suggestions for permission slips that your imagination can alter in whatever way, shape, or form works best for you.
And then after the meditation, I do it myself, and the moon started turning to a smiley face. And then every time I look at the moon, meditate with it, and there's a different being talking to me.
All right. So you're using that as a reflective permission slip.
So it's a reflection.
Everything is a reflection.
That's
Remember, physical reality isn't real. It's a mirror.
So the third topic is the non-physical energy. And just through synchronicity, I have been come across lots of tetrahedrons. And then our physicists saying that one group of them, they said if we keep cutting the physical reality to the smallest, it's actually like a triangle crystal.
Is like a tetrahedral form. That's what we've said for a long time. Tetrahedrons are the underlying template of your physical reality.
So how does the Merkaba come into play?
It comes into play as a symbol of as above, so below. The idea of the tetrahedrons intersecting, one pointing up and one pointing down, shows the connection, energetic connection and consciousness connection between physical and non-physical reality, between physical mind and higher mind.
You also mentioned that will be the most efficient antenna to use the free energy.
Yes, made out of certain materials in a certain configuration and encapsulated within different shells of resonating chambers. It can function as what we might loosely call a space-time antenna or transformational energy matrix, or shall we say a transformer, or what you might call a down resonating capacitor. There are many ways to define this idea, but it is the heart. The Merkaba shape is the heart of that device.
Wow. So you mentioned that fractals is another form of the free energy. I'm wondering.
Well, it's a representation. It's a certain representation of energy relationships, just as phi ratios are what you call the golden mean, golden proportions, fractal expressions. All of these are different expressions of the relationship of resonances within existence to one another that define different levels of reality, including your physical reality.
And how about the time crystal? When you mentioned that you actually flick back and forth, that reminds me of Tesla. He discovered the AC/DC.
In a sense, yes, it's a representation of the connection of forward and backward time, of time and anti-time. It is a representation of parallel realities expressed in crystalline form, but your scientists have to gain much more familiarity with this to understand how this might be connected or representative of these different concepts.
I see. And final question, just through synchronicity, the Amazon.com, the distribution center in California, is on fire.
Yes.
So what's the reflection? I mean, maybe it's telling us that the Amazon jungle was also in trouble.
Then that's what you take from it. Then that's what that reflection is to you, though there are many, many more symbolic reflections, again, depending upon the person that is perceiving it. It can be representative of other things as well. It can be representative of resistance to the transmission of things, transmission of information that causes things to heat up because of its resistance, and it's not flowing freely in the way that it really needs to. It can be representative of many different things depending upon the person that's looking.
So what's the action I can take at a personal level? I mean,
you decide. Follow your passion. You decide.
I see.
Follow the formula. That's all you need to do to figure out everything you need to do and take action on in your life. That's all you need to do. That's why we give it to you that way. We boil it down into its simplest possible 4-step formula. That's an instruction manual for how to proceed and move through life, for how to navigate your reality in a way that leaves nothing relevant out and brings you every single bit of information that's relevant for you to know and every single experience that's relevant for you to have in your life as it unfolds. So thank you for your interaction and your sharing, and we bid you an exciting and challenging and intense good day.
A good day to you too. Thank you, Bashar. Avail.
Avail.